Your life today is the result of your habits, not your education, not your talent, not your connections, your habits. The small decisions you make every single day that seem insignificant in the moment but compound over time to create either success or failure. I stand before you today with one purpose: to show you how to transform your life through the power of daily habits that, when implemented consistently, will revolutionize every aspect of your existence. Look around you. The person sitting next to you has the same 24 hours you have, the same minutes, the same seconds. Yet some people use those hours to build extraordinary lives while others waste them on activities that lead nowhere. What's the difference? It's not luck, it's not circumstance, it's the daily habits they've cultivated that silently guide their actions toward greatness. I've traveled to over 80 countries studying the principles of success. I've consulted with presidents, business leaders, and ordinary people who achieved extraordinary things. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that your potential is vastly greater than anything you've accomplished so far. The gap between where you are and where you could be is bridged by one thing: the habits you practice every day. Today, I'm going to reveal 7 transformational habits that, if implemented starting right now, will completely revolutionize your life within 1 year. These aren't complicated strategies requiring special talents or resources. These are simple, powerful practices that anyone can implement immediately. But make no mistake, though they are simple, they require the one thing most people aren't willing to give: consistent daily discipline. Your entire life changes the moment you make a new, congruent, and committed decision. Right now, in this moment, you can make that decision. You can decide to leave behind the habits that have created your current results and adopt new habits that will create extraordinary outcomes. The power is not in knowing what to do. The power is in doing what you know. Let's begin with understanding the extraordinary power of daily decisions. Most people dramatically overestimate what they can accomplish in a day and dramatically underestimate what they can accomplish in a year of consistent daily action. This is the principle of compound effect. If you improve just 1% each day, after 1 year you'll be 37 times better than when you started. Not 365% better, 3,700% better. That's the power of compounding improvement. Think about a bamboo tree. For the first 5 years of its life, it barely breaks through the soil. You water it, fertilize it, and care for it, seeing almost no visible results. But in the 6th year, it can grow up to 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Was it the 6 weeks that created that growth? No, it was the 5 years of developing an elaborate root system that could support explosive growth when the time was right. Your habits work the same way. You may not see dramatic results immediately, but you're building the foundation for extraordinary. Every decision you make today is a deposit into your future. When you choose to wake up early, you're making a deposit. When you choose to read instead of watching television, you're making a deposit. When you choose healthy food instead of junk, you're making a deposit. These deposits may seem small in the moment, but they accumulate with interest over time to create the life you'll live tomorrow. The first transformational habit that will revolutionize your life is establishing a purposeful morning routine. Show me how you start your day and I'll show you how you live your life. The first hour of your day is sacred time that sets the tone for everything that follows. Most people immediately surrender this precious time to what I call reactive living, checking emails, scrolling through social media, responding to others' demands. They begin their day in response mode rather than creation mode. Champions understand that winning starts before the game begins. It starts with how they prepare. Your morning routine isn't just about getting ready for your day, it's about getting ready for your life. It's about programming your mind, energizing your body, and connecting with your purpose before the world tries to distract you. What should a powerful morning routine include? First, wake up at least 30 minutes before you have to. This simple act puts you in control of your life rather than being controlled by external demands. Those first moments of your day should be spent in silence, allowing your mind to focus before the noise of the world intrudes. Some call this meditation, others call it prayer or reflection. Whatever you call it, this practice of mental centering creates clarity that most people never experience. Next, put something positive and purposeful into your mind. Read or listen to content that inspires growth rather than triggering anxiety. Your mind is most receptive in these early hours. What you feed it matters tremendously. Then write down your primary goals and the specific actions you'll take today to move toward them. This act of writing physically connects your hand to your brain and embeds these priorities into your subconscious. Finally, move your body. Physical movement releases chemicals in your brain that enhance focus, creativity, and emotional resilience. Even 10 minutes of movement can transform your mental state for hours. This isn't complicated. It could be stretching, walking, or basic exercises. The point is to awaken your physical system and connect it with your mental focus. Imagine how different your life would be if you started every day with this level of intention rather than rolling out of bed at the last minute, rushing through your morning, and arriving at work already depleted. The difference over 1 year would be staggering. Over a lifetime, immeasurable. The second transformational habit is commitment to intentional daily learning. In today's rapidly changing world, your ability to learn may be your most valuable asset. The person who doesn't read is no better off than the person who can't read. Your formal education may have ended, but your self-education must continue every single day of your life. The most successful people in every field share one common trait. They are lifelong, voracious learners. They understand that knowledge isn't just power, it's potential power. Applied knowledge is actual power. The average CEO reads 60 books per year. The average person reads less than one. Is it any wonder there's a gap in results? Commit to reading at least 30 minutes every day. That simple habit will put you in the top 1% of adults in terms of knowledge acquisition. What should you read? Material that directly contributes to your growth in 3 key areas: your professional expertise, your personal development, and your broader understanding of the world. Read books that challenge your thinking rather than just confirming what you already believe. But reading alone isn't enough. You must implement what I call the 5-hour rule, practiced by many of the world's most successful people, from Bill Gates to Warren Buffett. It works like this. Spend at least 5 hours every week in deliberate learning. 1 hour could be reading, another could be listening to educational content during your commute, another could be practicing a new skill, another could be reviewing and reflecting on what you've learned, and the final hour could be engaging in thoughtful conversation about meaningful ideas. The key is to create a system for retaining and implementing this knowledge. Take notes on what you read. Discuss new ideas with others. Teach what you learn to someone else. There's no better way to solidify understanding than having to explain it. Most importantly, identify specific actions you can take based on what you're learning and implement them immediately. Imagine the compounding effect of this habit. If you read just 30 minutes per day, that's 182 hours of focused learning per year. At an average reading speed, that's about 30 books annually. How different would your life be if you absorbed the key insights from 30 carefully selected books each year? In 5 years, that's 150 books. The wisdom, strategies, and perspectives contained in those pages would transform your thinking, your decisions, and ultimately your results. The third transformational habit is strategic relationship cultivation. You've heard the saying that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This isn't just a motivational quote, it's a scientific reality. Through a phenomenon called emotional contagion, You literally catch the attitudes, beliefs, and even financial habits of those around you. Your relationships will either raise you up or bring you down. There is no neutral ground. Every person in your life is either adding to your growth or subtracting from it. This doesn't mean you should callously discard people, but it does mean you must be intentional about who has access to your time, your mind, and your dreams. Begin by conducting a relationship audit. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Write down their names. Now, honestly assess, are these people encouraging your growth or hindering it? Do they expand your thinking or limit it? Do they push you toward excellence or pull you toward mediocrity? This isn't about judging them as people. It's about evaluating their impact on your development. Next, identify the relationships you need to cultivate to get where you want to go. If you want to improve your health, you need relationships with health-conscious people. If you want to improve your finances, you need relationships with financially disciplined people. If you want to grow spiritually, you need relationships with spiritually mature people. Develop the habit of intentionally spending time each week with people who are where you want to be. This could be through formal mentoring, mastermind groups, or simply coffee conversations. The key is regularity and purpose. These aren't social hangouts, they're growth opportunities. Equally important is developing communication habits that strengthen your key relationships. Practice the habit of asking better questions rather than talking about yourself. Learn to listen with the intent to understand rather than the intent to respond. Make deposits into your relationship accounts through acts of service, words of appreciation, and quality time before you need to make withdrawals. Build what I call a personal board of advisors, a carefully selected group of people who have permission to speak truth into your life. Most people surround themselves with yes men and enablers who never challenge their thinking. Champions surround themselves with coaches who push them beyond their comfort zones. The 4th transformational habit is disciplined financial management. Your daily financial habits determine your long-term financial freedom. Most people spend their lives financially reacting rather than proactively building wealth. They work for money rather than having money work for them. The foundation of financial freedom is remarkably simple. Spend less than you earn, invest the difference, and repeat this process for a long enough period. Yet most people never implement this basic formula because they lack the daily discipline to manage their financial lives. Develop the habit of paying yourself first. Before you pay bills, before you buy groceries, before you spend on entertainment, set aside a percentage of every dollar you earn for your future. Start with 10%. If that seems impossible, start with 1% and increase it by 1% every 3 months until you reach at least 15%. This single habit, practiced consistently over time, virtually guarantees financial independence. Track every dollar you spend for at least 30 days. Most people have no idea where their money actually goes. They experience what I call financial amnesia. The money comes in, the money goes out, and they wonder where it went. By tracking your spending patterns emerge that reveal your true financial priorities. Eliminate impulse purchases with the 24-hour rule. If you want to buy something that costs more than $100, wait 24 hours before completing the purchase. If you still want it just as much 24 hours later and you've confirmed it fits your budget, then buy it. This simple habit eliminates most emotional spending decisions that derail financial progress. Automate your financial life as much as possible. Set up automatic transfers to savings and investment accounts on the day you get paid. Remove the decision from the process. Willpower is a finite resource. Don't waste it on decisions that can be automated. Develop the habit of continuous financial education. The world of money is constantly changing. What worked for your parents may not work for you. Read at least one book on personal finance every quarter. Take courses. Listen to podcasts from reputable financial experts. Your income will rarely exceed your financial knowledge. Imagine the impact of these habits over time. If you save and invest just 15% of your income and earn an average 8% return, in 30 years you'll have accumulated over 10 times your annual income. If you earn $50,000 per year, that's $500,000. If you earn $100,000, that's $1 million. These aren't complicated strategies, they're simple habits practiced consistently over time. The fifth transformational habit is commitment to physical excellence through daily choices. Your physical energy is the foundation upon which all your other efforts are built. You cannot perform at your mental, emotional, or spiritual best when your physical body is depleted. Most people treat their cars better than their bodies. They wouldn't dream of putting the wrong fuel in their vehicle, but they continuously put the wrong fuel in their body and wonder why they lack energy, focus, and vitality. Your food choices are not just about weight, they're about brain function, emotional regulation, and energy management. Develop the habit of eating for energy, not just for taste. Before eating anything, ask yourself, will this food give me energy or take energy away? Most of what passes for food in modern society actually depletes your energy rather than enhancing it. Processed foods, excessive sugar, and chemical additives force your body to work harder to digest while providing minimal nutritional benefit. Hydration is perhaps the simplest yet most neglected physical habit. Your brain is approximately 75% water. Even mild dehydration impairs cognitive function, emotional regulation, and physical performance. Develop the habit of drinking half your body weight in ounces of water daily. If you weigh 160 pounds, that's 80 ounces of water. This single habit can dramatically improve your mental clarity and physical energy. Movement isn't just about formal exercise. It's about avoiding the sedentary lifestyle that's killing modern humans. Your body was designed to move regularly throughout the day, not sit for hours and then exercise intensely for 30 minutes. Develop the habit of movement breaks every 60, 90 minutes. Stand up, stretch, walk around, do a few exercises. These movement snacks maintain your energy flow and prevent the physical and mental stagnation that comes from prolonged sitting. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's a biological necessity for peak performance. During sleep, your body repairs itself, your brain consolidates learning, and your hormones rebalance. One night of poor sleep reduces your cognitive capacity to that of someone legally drunk. Develop the habit of sleep consistency. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Create a sleep sanctuary free of electronics, light, and noise. These simple habits dramatically improve sleep quality, which improves every aspect of your waking performance. Stress management is the final component of physical excellence. Chronic stress literally destroys your body from the inside out, compromising your immune system, disrupting your hormones, and impairing your cognitive function. Develop daily stress reduction habits like deep breathing, time in nature, or mindfulness practices. Even 5 minutes of intentional stress reduction several times throughout your day can transform your physical and mental state. The sixth transformational habit is implementing focused productivity systems. Most people confuse activity with productivity. They're busy all day but accomplish little of significance. True productivity isn't about doing more things. It's about doing the right things with complete focus. The myth of multitasking has destroyed modern productivity. Your brain cannot effectively focus on multiple cognitive tasks simultaneously. What you call multitasking is actually task nupping. And each switch comes with a cognitive cost. Studies show it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully regain focus after an interruption. Develop the habit of time blocking, dedicating uninterrupted periods to single important tasks. Design your day around your energy, not just your time. Your energy naturally fluctuates throughout the day. Most people have 2-3 hours of peak cognitive energy, 6-8 hours of moderate energy, and several hours of low energy. Identify your personal energy pattern and schedule your most important complex tasks during your peak energy periods. Priority management is far more important than time management. You'll never find time for important activities. You must make time by eliminating or delegating less important activities. Develop the habit of identifying your 3 most important tasks each day before you begin working. Complete these before responding to emails, messages, or other people's priorities. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on cognitively demanding tasks. It's becoming increasingly rare and increasingly valuable in our distracted world. Develop the habit of at least one 90-minute deep work session daily. Turn off all notifications, close email, put your phone in another room, and focus completely on your most important task. This habit alone can double your productive output while reducing stress. Digital minimalism is critical for maintaining mental focus in our hyper-connected age. Your devices are designed to capture and monetize your attention, not to enhance your productivity. Develop habits that put you in control of technology rather than being controlled by it. Check email at scheduled times rather than continuously throughout the day. Keep your phone on do not disturb mode by default. Remove social media apps from your phone, accessing them only from your computer at specific times. The 7th and final transformational habit is consistent reflection and adaptation. Without regular reflection, experience is not automatically converted into wisdom. Many people have 20 years of experience that is really just 1 year of experience repeated 20 times because they never reflected and adapted. Develop the habit of daily journaling to capture insights, recognize patterns, and process experiences. Even 5 minutes of writing at the end of each day dramatically enhances self-awareness and learning. Write down what went well, what could be improved, and specific actions you'll take tomorrow based on today's lessons. Weekly review is the habit that keeps you from drifting off course. Every weekend, spend 30, 60 minutes reviewing your week. What progress did you make toward your most important goals? What worked well? What didn't? What adjustments do you need to make next week? This simple habit prevents the gradual slide into reactive living that happens when we don't regularly reconnect with our priorities. Monthly and quarterly recalibration prevents what I call mission drift. The slow, often imperceptible movement away from your core purpose and values. Once a month, review your key metrics in each life area: health, relationships, finances, personal growth, and contribution. Once a quarter, conduct a deeper review of your goals and adjust as needed based on what you've learned and how circumstances have changed. The habit of soliciting and implementing feedback accelerates growth exponentially. Most people avoid feedback because it threatens their ego. Champions actively seek feedback because they're more committed to improvement than to comfort. Regularly ask people you trust, "What's one thing I could do better?" Then listen without defensiveness and take action on what you learn. Finally, develop the habit of continuous experimentation. Life is a laboratory, not a library. You don't just read about it, you test it. Every month, experiment with at least one new approach, technique, or practice that might enhance your effectiveness. Most experiments will fail. It's not just acceptable, it's necessary. The insights from failed experiments often lead to breakthrough innovations. Now let's talk about implementing these habits successfully. Most people fail not because they don't know what to do, but because they don't have an effective implementation strategy. Understanding the science of habit formation dramatically increases your chances of success. Every habit has 3 components: the cue, the routine, and the reward. The cue triggers the behavior, the routine is the behavior itself, and the reward is the benefit you get from the behavior. To change any habit, you must keep the same cue and the same reward, but change the routine. For example, if you want to develop a reading habit, you might use the cue of finishing dinner when you would normally watch TV. Change the routine from watching TV to reading, but keep the reward of relaxation and mental stimulation. By maintaining the same cue and reward while changing only the routine, you reduce the willpower required to implement the new habit. The most effective way to establish new habits is through what I call the small wins methodology. Most people fail because they try to change too much too quickly. They get inspired and decide to transform everything at once. Their diet, exercise, sleep, work habits, relationship patterns, and financial behaviors. This approach almost always fails because willpower is a limited resource. Instead, focus on establishing one new habit at a time until it becomes automatic before adding the next. Start with ridiculously small versions of each habit. Want to read more? Start with just 1 page per day. Want to exercise more? Start with just 1 minute per day. Want to save more? Start with just $1 per day. The goal is not immediate transformation, but establishing the neural pathway of the new behavior. Once the pathway exists, gradually increase the duration or intensity of the habit. The key insight is that consistency matters far more than intensity in the beginning stages of habit formation. It's better to read 1 page every day than to read 100 pages once a week. It's better to exercise for 5 minutes every day than for an hour once a week. Establish clear accountability systems for your new habits. Your probability of success increases dramatically when you're accountable to someone else for your commitments. Join or create a mastermind group that meets weekly to review progress and share challenges. Use habit tracking apps or simple paper trackers to maintain an unbroken chain of consistency. Make public commitments to people whose opinion matters to you. Prepare in advance for the inevitable setbacks and resistance you'll encounter. Most people approach habit change with unrealistic expectations of smooth, continuous progress. When they inevitably experience setbacks, they interpret them as failure rather than as normal parts of the change process. Develop specific strategies for getting back on track quickly after missing a day. The most powerful strategy for overcoming resistance is what I call if-then planning. Identify in advance the specific situations that are most likely to derail your new habits, then create specific plans for handling those situations. For example, if I'm invited to lunch at a restaurant that doesn't have healthy options, then I'll eat a small protein snack before going and order a salad with dressing on the side. This approach removes the need for in-the-moment willpower by deciding your response in advance. Let me speak directly to your heart for a moment. Your life can change completely within 1 year if you implement these habits starting today. I've seen people transform from financial disaster to financial security, from chronically ill to vibrantly healthy, from deeply frustrated to profoundly fulfilled through the consistent application of these principles. But you must start now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when circumstances are perfect. The circumstances will never be perfect. Champions don't wait for optimal conditions. They create progress with whatever conditions exist. The question isn't whether these principles work. They've been proven thousands of times across cultures and generations. The only question is whether you'll work them. Imagine yourself 1 year from today. You have implemented these 7 habits consistently for 365 days. Your mornings start with purpose and energy rather than rush and reaction. Your mind is filled with new insights and strategies from dozens of books you've read and courses you've taken. You're surrounded by people who elevate your thinking and support your growth. Your finances are organized, automated, and growing steadily. Your physical energy is abundant because you've optimized your nutrition, movement, and sleep. Your work is focused and productive because you've eliminated distractions and clarified priorities. You're continuously learning and adapting based on regular reflection and feedback. Who would that person be compared to who you are today? What would be possible for that person that seems impossible for you now? That person exists in potential. Whether they exist in reality 1 year from now is entirely up to the decisions you make starting today. Remember the bamboo tree. For weeks, months, even years, you may not see dramatic visible results from these habits, but beneath the surface, you are building an unstoppable root system that will eventually support explosive growth. Trust the process. Do the work. Be patient but persistent. Your habits are your destiny. Choose them intentionally. Practice them consistently. Your future self is watching right now, hoping you'll make the decision that changes everything. What will you decide